So what we've got to use a 15 horsepower machine, Wilks USA. So then got the pump, and what we're doing here is going to do a test on it. So this is the Wilks Tx850, and what we're testing is to see what this machine is going to be outputting on this side of it. Simple few tests. What we do is catch the water. In the system itself, what we're going to do is use the jets that come here. You'll see we're taking a 15-degree out, and what we're going to do is get the engine running at full revs, and for a minute we're going to check and do the test of how much water goes into that bucket. We'll then weigh it and measure it to see exactly how much water's gone into that tub within a minute. It then tells us on that side with the jetting exactly what it's doing, and also we'll also put a pressure gauge on there to also see what it's capable of doing. Put it over then. So the first test we're going to do here is mains. So we'll run off mains to start off with, see what it's doing off the mains. What we've done is connect the hose up, and this water's coming out of here. We'll get the machine running, and what we'll do is put this into a bucket and do the test. So what we've simply done here is, you'll see in a second what we're going to do is, we've had a look already, and you'll see the weight there with the bucket. 9 litres in 30 seconds, that is, not a minute, 30 seconds. Now that's without any pressure, no nozzle in there at all, so which is not a decent bad flow without any jets in, but we'll see in a minute or two when we put it under strain. Yay. So the next test that we're going to do on this side of it is obviously set it up and be pressure gauge into there, which we'll show you in a little while. But what we're going to do is catch with a 15-degree angle the jets that comes with it. We're going to catch that in 30 seconds, see how much water goes into this bucket there. So we've run with a 15-degree spray pattern and caught all the water itself. This is about 6 litres including the bucket, so 6.74 of water, so 6 litres just over, ever so slightly, and that was running at 160 bar, which we'll show you in a second or two on the gauge itself on maximum. So what we'll also do in a minute or two is also test to make sure on the system itself shortly, take the unloader in bits right quick just to see, make sure there's no water dumping. At the moment we've got the bolt-on unloader type. So the next test that we're going to do is make sure that when that machine is running with this jet in the lance, that the water, at the moment in time the water comes into the pump, it comes through here down this line here, goes into the head itself, it then comes out to the top side as high pressure, which is this port. If the trigger's being pulled, then the water goes down the line to the trigger. At that stage, while the trigger's pulled, if an unloader is faulty, you'll see this little port here, and what happens is the water returns back into the bottom side of the head and circulates round. That's if all the water's not being used. So if you come to undo this unloader at any stage, this is up at max at the moment, but if you come to undo that, that's what would happen is you would lower the pressure and the water would come into the bottom side of the head here and start circulating round. We're going to test, and what we're going to do is force feed it straight and just check and see what's going on. Not yet. So we've put water onto it now, mains water directly into the system itself. Now what should happen is we should have no water. We've already done the test, and what we'll find is the water is dumping out of here when we've got the trigger pulled, which will show you what we're going to do now.
You have to pull trigger.
You'll see in here on that nut. So we're going to take the locking nut off in a minute or two, see what's going on there, and put the unloader back in place. So the unloader part is this part inside here, and that goes into the top like so. What we've done is take this locking nut off, which is here, and we're going to slowly see how far down it will go. Now when you screw this down, stop this leaking, the pressure will go up. We should be able to get more litres then coming out of the system itself, so we'll see what happens. So what we had the machine at there was about 280 bar. We've altered this down now, screwed it down. No water dumping out of there, which you'll see in a minute on another video. Now the water collected in 30 seconds. So the machine itself is doing about 15 litres, somewhere in that sort of range at max. That was in 30 seconds with that. So what we've got now is the machine itself. We've screwed that down. We've got very little, which you'll see in a minute or two when we've got the machine running on full revs, and the barrage itself is working just short of 300 bar. There's your 300 bar mark on the gauge, which we'll show you. We'll set the machine up and show you. So the jet that's come with the machine itself, we've done a few tests. We've got a 4.5 there, so if we try and push that through first of all, that's a 4.5 jet. It's slightly tight, which you'll see, but it goes into their nozzle, very easy. So what we've done is go up to a size of about 0.5. So we've got a 5 nozzle here, which is the same, appears to be the same diameter as their jet. Fantastic. And then what we're probably going to do then is also, with it doing 300 bar, what we'll do now we've got these unloader screwed all the way down. I'm listening to the engine speed, and I'm listening to the engine as well to make sure we're not going to do any harm to the engine. But what I'm probably going to do is fetch some of these pressure off and concentrate more on the litres, 250 bar or 200 bar, and then that litres will also increase. It will automatically come up, it should do. So that's what we're going to do next, the tests on that. So we've done a few tests at the moment, and what we're running at now, we've set it so it's running at 200 bar with a 445 nozzle. So what we're simply going to do is catch the amount of water again now into the bucket to see how much volume of water now it's using. So this is the water we've collected now in the system, and we'll wait to see exactly how much water we've got now with a 4.5. So the system itself, 200 bar. And we've increased it, so it's about 16 litres now, 8 litres there, that was in 30 seconds, so brilliant. So the conclusion we've come to now is the machine itself, when we put the jet in, into this Lancer here, which is a 045 nozzle, all set up. The machine itself is then running just short of 200 bar when it's running. And what it's doing is 16 litres. So 16 litres at 200 bar. That is what's going on now. So we've converted this over now, set it up to see how it goes at sucking and returning on the system. Now like I say, so 13 horsepower normally, 250 bar 15 litres. Yeah, 13 horsepower, or 200 bar 21 litres. So we managed to get this to do 200 bar at 16 litres. And that's on 15 horsepower Wilks machine. So I'm impressed quietly away, but obviously it's not anywhere doing what it should be able to do if it says what it says on the ticket. Another one that doesn't do what it says it does on the tin.